Biden's agenda has just gone poof, as if, a purple titan snapped his fingers. It's gone, and it's gone because of two things. Obviously, unified Republican opposition to literally anything that he might do. Like if he ordered seconds at breakfast, they'd be against it. But also, of course, Manchin and Sinema and the other supposed centrists. They have set fire to his presidency. A presidency he has worked more than half his life to get is gone because of them. But that will not stop him from taking shots in the immediate wake of them setting it on fire against, not them, but against the left. Take a look at this video.
Why are you trying so hard in your first year to pull the country so far to the left?
Well, I'm not. I don't know what you consider to be too far to the left. If in fact we're talking about making sure that we had the money for COVID, making sure we had the money to put together the bipartisan infrastructure, making sure we were able to provide for those things that in fact would significantly reduce the burden on working class people, but make them, they have to continue to work hard. I don't know how that is pulling it to the left. If you may recall, you guys have been trying to convince me that I am Bernie Sanders. I'm not. I like him, but I'm not Bernie Sanders. I'm not a socialist. I'm a mainstream Democrat, and I have been. And mainstream Democrats have overwhelmed me. If you notice, the 48 of the 50 Democrats supported me in the Senate on virtually everything I've asked.
Again, okay, I'm a little bit more mad at the reporter for that insane question. But again, I'm not Bernie Sanders. I'm not socialist. He is pitching it as an extreme, when the extreme, as you will go on to define, clearly is the two that went against the president and 48 senators and have stopped you from doing literally anything. Can you show at least 10% of the disdain for those people, the mainstream moderate Democrats, at least in the eyes of the media, as you do for Bernie Sanders? It's just so needless to take shots at him when he supports your agenda more than you do.
He's fought for your agenda more than you do. Don't worry, Joe Biden. We know every day, we know you are certainly not Bernie Sanders, because Bernie Sanders would have a much better response to the idea that somehow helping working people is far to the left, that voting rights is far to the left. Bernie Sanders wouldn't actually argue on a far right talking point like you just got handed there. Bernie would have moved on from that question. Bernie would have actually fought for the people and for voting rights, and would have actually hammered Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin instead of rolling out the red carpet for them in the Oval Office. Bernie Sanders would have had much more of a spine in this moment than you do. So stop showing disunity for your party by throwing your budget chair under the bus. What are you doing? Be a president.
You've seen them your whole life on TV. Just act like, well, actually, I would prefer if you not act like most of them, but you've seen some good ones in TV and films. Act like those. But anyway, this is the game of the media. I mean, you saw in that question, why are you being so divisive and trying to pass legislation that the vast majority of Americans want? But it's not just them. Take a look at this question. Ron Klain is going to be asked by Joe Scarborough.
Moderation is selling in the Democratic Party. So why is it that it seems time and time again the president has overreached, moved too far left, and has not been able to bring those final two senators home?
Well, first of all, I think the president is right in the middle of where the country is. You look at what's in our Build Back Better plan, bringing down the cost of childcare. I think that's a very moderate thing for families. Reducing the cost of prescription drugs, saying you shouldn't have to pay more than $35 for insulin. I think that's an all-American mainstream proposal.
So I don't particularly care about the Ron Klain stuff, but again, why hasn't he done enough to get Manchin and Sinema? Biden has not had a meal without one or both of them being at the table in 8 months. He spends every minute trying to court them. He is willing to give them literally anything. They're not playing ball, not because they haven't been wooed enough, but because they're fundamentally corrupt. And that is a ridiculous part of what he said. But he started off, Francesca, with moderates are selling. Well, selling out, yes, but the idea that, wait, what, that people like them more, that it's strategically working for the Democrats. I honestly am not even sure what point he was trying to make there.
No, I mean, and that's the whole thing with Joe Scarborough and Morning Joe and a lot of these like Republican lights that are passed off as somehow Democrats or progressive or like, pro-democracy even on channels like MSNBC. I'm sorry, Scarborough is completely out of touch with the American people. And I hate that people watch that show and they somehow think, yeah, moderation is selling. You could steal that out of Kirsten Sinema's mouth. She's been using the exact same line of thinking to defend keeping the filibuster in place to shut down voting rights, to shut down the Build Back Better Act, to tank this moderate president's agenda. So what are you even talking about? I mean, kudos to Ron Klain for attempting to answer it, but I hate the way this mainstream media is so stacked in favor of the status quo that is killing us.
Yeah. I feel like, can we have, I don't know, some sort of federal regulation for media where you can have millionaires as hosts and all that. It has to say in front of them at all points, millionaire. Imagine if people watching the news like turned on CNN and all day they were reminded that every single one of these people yapping at them is a millionaire at the very least.
It reminds me,
like they know on some level, but I do not think that they think about it. Like, and honestly, if there's a single person that gets brought on that is earning minimum wage, then show that you're finally putting the spotlight on the working class. I would love to see that. You will go months on CNN and MSNBC without seeing a single person like that.
Yeah. There definitely should be. It should be like you guys ever remember the VH1's pop-up video, but for like how much people make who are on TV and how much they're worth.
Hold on, I mean, I feel like that's news broke right there. You gotta make that pop-up MSNBC. Oh, that would be great. Show their investments, show who they partied with.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not our friends.
No, there's no more news broke right now, John. It's Situation Room, baby. That's my podcast. Everybody listen to it, please.
Thank you. That's your past. You did stuff like that. You can still do stuff like that.
That's true. That's true.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.